In August 1961, Germans couldn't believe their eyes. A wall was being built that ran right across streets and squares, separating families, friends, and lovers overnight. Along with the Berlin Wall came a yearning, a longing among East Germans for the West, a destination over the rainbow full of wonders, right next door but unreachable.
The West, as East Germans saw it, was an invention of the East. The East thought up its own West, this West as paradise. And because East Germans could never, or hardly ever, check to see what it was really like, they imagined it.
Every evening, a window to paradise opened to many East Germans when television stations in West Berlin or West Germany showed images of houses and cars they could only dream of, visions of another way of life. In 1963, at Christmas time, for the first time since the wall was built, West Berliners were given passes to visit their relatives in the eastern part of the city over the holidays. The roads were chaotic. This first visit didn't entail bringing products from the West, such as coffee, stockings, or chocolate, as later ones did. It was a reunion.
There was always a greeting and a farewell. All sorts of emotions welled up. Actually, you could say the wall produced deep feelings and an intimacy that might not have existed at all without it. This intimacy between Easterners and Westerners. You were always aware this was an exceptional situation and that it might not work out next time.
East Germans with relatives in the West were lucky. They'd come over like missionaries from a more beautiful world, even when they arrived in a beat-up VW. Suddenly you could smell and taste paradise. Even chocolate bunnies had an aura of the exotic. Every bar of soap, every sip of beer was a small flight from communist East Germany. Presents were bestowed, and the gift givers admired.
Some people, when they visited their relatives in the East, didn't come in their own small cars. They'd drive a big Mercedes they'd rented, and that was accepted. People didn't want to see through the illusion. It was a play, in a sense, a long-running play. West and East, the fat relative and the poor one, meeting each other at the family table.
Der dicke Max und der arme August, die da aufeinander trafen an den Familientischen.
Generally, West Germans and West Berliners visited the East. In order to reciprocate, East Germans had to be 60 or over. Jutta Voigt made it across at age 40. As a film critic, she was given permission to visit a documentary festival in France. She left East Berlin bound for Lille, via the border crossing at Friedrichstrasse railway station, known to Berliners as the Palace of Tears, because of the many tearful goodbyes said there. The train stopped in Paris, though actually her visa forbade her from getting out there.
Of course I got out. I had to see Paris once in my life.
Friends took her to the Galerie Lafayette. Visitors from the East always wanted to see this temple of luxury. Jutta Voigt wanted more, to see the city of her dreams. She spent 48 sleepless hours in Paris.
Paris was the ultimate fulfillment. Each impression was greater than the last, enhanced by the shortness of my stay and the fact I knew it was only that one time. I just had to write that down.
Jutta Voigt has written down her story and those of others from this time of yearning with biting wit and ironic charm. 24 German stories dealing with the ups and downs of life in a divided country. The West was the glittering emergency exit for the East, but the door was usually shut. The disillusionment began when it opened. The West as a paradise ended with the fall of the wall. West and East Germans began to accuse each other of ingratitude and speak of love betrayed. Visiting hours were over.
So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, so lose my mind.